I'm gonna go into the anyway, whoops, as I dip my entire pinky into the green shadow. That's lovely. Hello my beautiful babes, what is up? It's Brandi. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. In today's video, I'm going to be doing this half melted snowman type of look. Now, I had originally planned 3 bigger, more complex looks here on my channel for the month of December. However, it just didn't work out. There has been a lot that has been going on in my personal life. 2020 has not been easy for any of us. 2020 is coming hard for me towards the end here with worrying, stress, anxiety. I had a COVID scare at the beginning of the month of December, and then someone in my family actually has it. 2 people now, and it's a lot. It's stressful, but all we can do is just take it a day at a time. You know, it's just all these different factors coming into play, and it's making this whole thing. I really didn't think I was gonna cry, but it's okay. I'm okay now. It's just been really hard. But I know I'm not the only one who can relate to that, and if anyone else is struggling, you're not the only one, even though it sure as heck feels like it sometimes. I just haven't been feeling like myself. I just started feeling okay yesterday, and I need to distract myself. I miss filming, and I really want to do this for you guys, and yeah. That's just the gist of basically what's been going on. It's a lot, and I'm just taking it a day at a time, as I said before. But today we are gonna take a step away from that, and we are just gonna play with makeup and try to have some fun. And today, as I said before, we are going to be doing this like half melted snowman type of look. Now, I don't have an all blue palette, so I'm gonna be dipping into 4 different palettes. I know that's not ideal, and I know that might come off as maybe frustrating to some of you guys, but I just don't have a palette that has mostly blues, or at least the blues that I'm particularly looking for. Just giving you guys that heads up, but regardless, I am very excited for this look. So if you guys are interested in how I created this melted snowman look, as you guys can see in the thumbnail, then please keep on watching. The first palette I'm going to be dipping into is the Nikita x Morphe palette, and the first shade I'm going to dip into is this beautiful, beautiful blue. It's more of a, I want to say it's a blue-green. I don't know if you guys can sort of see that, but it is Rasengan, and I love it so much. It's just beautiful. I swatched it. I have used it. When I first reviewed this, it didn't work out that well though, but I do love the shade, and I can't wait to use it again. So I'm just going to be applying that on my E15 brush, of course, as always, using my blinged brushes. Before I do that, I'm going to clip my hair back because she is getting in the way slightly. I would use a black clip, but I don't know where they went. No idea. No idea. I have like 20 of them And of course, they all get lost. It's like hair ties. They just disappear. Now we can officially place the shade onto our lid. Whew, that is beautiful. Just build up the shade as much as possible. Then the next palette I'm dipping into is the I Heart Revolution Heartbreakers palette in Daydream. I love this. It is so beautiful. I used this when I did my first impressions on my Bling Brushes Starry Nights collection, and it was so beautiful. The formula is so... I love it. The shimmers are my favorite. I feel like shimmers are always my favorite in almost every palette, but... Anyway, I'm going to be taking the shade over here, which is number 1, and I'm just going to be applying that on my E21 brush. Just tapping off the excess, and I'm just going to apply this all over my crease. I wish I had a smaller brush, but unfortunately I do not. Now the next shade I'm going to be dipping into is this one over here called BB Boy. Whoops! We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, I'm going to be applying that on my E13 brush, and I'm just going to use this to blend out the edges of my crease. Again, I probably would have used a smaller brush, but unfortunately I didn't clean my previous bling brushes, and my other smaller, more detailed brushes I didn't clean, so it is what it is. We're making it work. So far it is looking really nice. However, I am going to go back into the I Heart Revolutions palette and go back into the shade that we used for the crease, because I feel like we just lost it a little bit. So I'm just going to touch it up, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and then I'll be right back. Next I'm going to dip into my Mini Controversy palette, just because I feel like these edges, especially this side, could be blended out a lot more. So I'm going to be dipping into the shade Flat Earth, and I'm just going to be applying that on an E13 brush. I'm just going to use this to blend out the edges even more. I guess I'm going to take the E26 brush. I don't know. I don't have any more smaller brushes, so I guess I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to take this shade right over here, which is number 1 in the I Heart Revolutions palette. And I am just going to focus this all on the lower half of my lash line. It's working, it just feels very weird and unnatural, but hey, it's working. Then I'm going to go back into my Mini Controversy palette, dipping into the shade Flat Earth on an E23 brush. And I'm just going to use this to blend out the edges of the lower lash line. Then I'm just going to be grabbing my Magic Star Concealer in the shade C7 and my E16 brush, and I am just going to create a halo eye. Just going to apply a little bit in the center. Whoop. Yeah, about like that, and then I'm just going to look up. And then fill it in. So the next palette I'm going to be dipping into is the ColourPop So Jaded palette, and I'm going to be dipping into this shade over here called Opal, and I used this once and it was so beautiful. I don't remember if I used it on camera or not, but it was absolutely stunning, and I'm so excited to use it again. And I'm just going to be applying that on my M760 brush. Now I am just curious because I think this would look absolutely beautiful. This is my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Extreme Frost highlighter in the shade Gag Me. Sorry, I drew a blank there. I have used this before. It is more of a chunky highlighter, and just, oh, look at that. I think that this would look really beautiful as well. So I'm just gonna use my finger, which I hate doing, but with this with this highlighter, you have to. So I'm gonna place this over it. Oh, that's so pretty. That is so incredibly beautiful. Oh my goodness. The shade Gag Me, like, what? It totally took the cake, and I highly recommend using this instead if you have it. It's just, that is just mind-blowing. Just look at that. Oh. Woo! She got fallout. Now I'm just gonna be grabbing that E15, and I'm just gonna lightly tap over the edges of the shades Opal and Gag Me, just so they can really blend nicely together and it's not as harsh. Just like that. Oh, that is so pretty. I just can't get over how beautiful that is. Gag Me for the lid is stunning. But yeah, I would definitely have to do my eyes before doing my face. And that's something I really don't like doing, but oh well. So then the last thing I'm going to do is highlight my brow bone, and for that I'm going to be dipping into another palette, which is the Urban Decay On The Run Detour palette, and I'm going to be dipping into the shade over here called Switchback, and I'm going to be taking my E26 brush to highlight the inner corners first. And then I believe I'll take, what is this? My E12 brush to use that to highlight my brow bone. Oh my gosh. That is so beautiful. I forgot how gorgeous that is. Oh my. That is stunning. Just gonna pull this mirror a little bit closer so I can see, and I'm just gonna be taking my Essence white pencil eyeliner, and I'm going to place this in my waterline. I don't know how some people can just do it like that. I can't. I have to like push on it and do it like that. Now it's time for the actual melted snowman part. And I'm just going to be taking some makeup removing wipes. This is from K Beauty. It's from Nikita, New York. Makeup cleansing tissue, aloe. It's like made with aloe. I don't know. It says it's made in Korea. I don't remember exactly where I got this from. Oh, never mind. It was from Marshall's. I got it for $3.99, but I do like them. I don't use them to remove my makeup, just really for my hands when I do swatches, because I just don't like, I think they're very harsh for removing your makeup on your face, but for today we are going to. This smells incredible. It doesn't smell like aloe. It smells like, I don't know, it just smells really good. Anyway, I'm just gonna take it. I don't know how much I want to take off. I really don't. Now, of course, I'm going to be using the Mehron Professional Face and Body Paint Makeup. I love using this for more of these extreme or more complex looks for, you know, Halloween and, you know, Christmas. I love using it, and of course I'm going to be using their brushes as well. It should be no surprise that because we are going to be a snowman, that the first shade I'm going to be dipping into is the white. So if you guys have never seen this before, this is their 30 count palette, and I'm just going to be grabbing any one of these whites over here. So I'm just going to be grabbing this one right over here. Of course, to activate it, I have my little spray bottle here. And then to apply that, I'm going to be using the 841. And I'm just going to use this where we basically just removed all the makeup. This is what we look like so far. I look crazy, I know. But I'm just going to be taking the 815 brush. So I'm just going to be creating just melting patterns across my body. Doesn't have to be perfect, but definitely going to have to go back and forth to build up the color. So now I have a little bit of foundation left over from when I did my entire face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 810 and I'm just going to dip a little bit into the foundation, and I'm then going to create more like the melting effect. And then I'm just going to grab my JS8 brush just to blend out the harsh line. I'm just going to go back in with the white with the 815. Now I'm going to be taking my E22 brushes from my Bling Brushes set. Now these are dirty, but it doesn't matter because we're just going to be using them to create dimension. Sorry, I drew a blank there. Anyway, I'm just going to be using my Morphe X James Charles palette, and whoops, if I can't open it, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Spooky right over here. Did I just... No, we're good. Okay. And we're just going to focus this on the edges of the snow to give it some more dimension. I'm going to go in with the other E22 and just blend it out so it's not as harsh. Now, I'm not done yet, but if I feel like I need to lighten it up a little bit more, if it's a little bit too dark in some areas and just blending it out isn't doing it enough, I'm going to go into the shade Flashback right over here. And then I'm also going to dip into my Nikita Dragon from Morphe, and I'm going to take the shade Augmented because Flashback is not really doing much for the top part of my face, so I'm hoping that'll help a little bit more. What I did is I went back in with the 810 brush and with the white just to clean the edges up so it's a little bit better. Of course, it's not exactly how it was, at least the droplets were up on top, but it's still pretty good. So the next thing that we have to do is the kohl for the mouth, and for that I'm obviously going to be dipping into this one right over here, which is the black. It does have a little bit of white in it, but not to worry, it's not going to show up. And then I'm going to try the 818 brush. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to hope for the best, to be honest. And I'm just going to start with the one in the center of my mouth. You know what? Scratch that. Scratch that, scratch that, scratch that. I'm actually just going to take a Q-tip. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I just want to be more precise when making the circle, so. Now that I kind of have the general outline of it, I'm going to go in with the 8110 brush, the 810 brush, and I'm just going to now fix the edges of it. Now I know that took like about 5 minutes. That was ridiculous. So I would love to fast forward this, but that would take a very, very long time, not to mention a lot of space on my SD card. So I'm just gonna cut to the part where this is basically all done on my face. So yeah, this is where we are. I added some 2 little kohl buttons down here because I thought it would be really cute. It took me a lot longer than I had anticipated, but you know what? It is okay and it is worth it, and we are finally here, so it doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of a little carrot nose. I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna go. Fingers crossed, but anyway, I'm just going to be grabbing this orange shade right over here. I'm just going to take the 810 brush. I just took my makeup remover and got as much of the black off as I could. I'm going to slowly do the carrot. So I have my little rough draft that I did. It's a horrible rough draft, but it's okay. The idea is there. That was luckily a lot easier than I had expected. So I'm going to take that 810 brush. Again, I cleaned it a little bit with some of the makeup wipe. I'm going to start off with the white, which I don't know if I said that already, but if I did, I'm just going to repeat myself. If I didn't, oh well. So I'm just going to, whoops, I need my little rough draft. Start the lines. I just almost poked my eye out. That would have been amazing. Ooh, this is so hard. Oh, there's no proper way to like hold my hands. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the black very, very lightly, and I'm going to carefully outline the nose. And I feel like this is where we're gonna mess up, but we are going to try. I just applied that Voluminous Superstar Mascara. So now I'm going to be dipping back into the ColourPop So Jaded palette. And I'm going to be taking this beautiful shade right over here called, I think it's called Onyx. I'm hoping that's what it says. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to be applying that on my M508 brush. I'm going to place this right over the buttons to give us a nice little sparkle and shine. Just like that. Now, of course, you want to make sure you tap off the excess or else it will get all over. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it is there. I was gonna say that that's it, but I feel like I should add maybe 1 or 2 snowflakes on the top of my forehead. So for that, I'm just gonna be using my NYX white liquid liner. This is so clumpy. Oh no. I definitely need a new one. Oh my goodness. Well, we will try. Alright you guys, so this is the final look. The only thing that I added was these snowflakes down here as well as on my face. Now, down here I did use the body paint, and then on my cheek I used the NYX white liquid liner. Now this is so old, I either need to get a new one or try a new liquid liner because this is so old. Is this old? Well, I don't know, 12 months? Have I even had this 12 months? I don't think so, but it is so clumpy. It feels old, it looks old. I need to get a new one regardless. But I just love how this look came out so much, and I am really happy that I decided to add the snowflakes because I believe it added a little something extra that was missing before, and I am just so happy. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, as well as hitting the notification bell. As always, every product used today will be linked down below in the description box. I love you guys so much. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys.